Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Call the meeting of the August School Board of Trustees to order. Verified there are quorum. We do have 6. We're missing Steve. First off, comments from the audience. Do we have anybody? No comments from the audience. Routine matters. Approved minutes of the executive regular session of July 8th, 2024 school board meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Allison Ezell makes the motion.
Second.
Seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign.
Oh, what did you say?
I was watching you, Ray. No, you're good.
Check his hearing.
Post passes 6-0. Approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Becky White makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Approved claims to date.
I'll make the motion.
Becky Humphrey makes that motion. Seconded by Ray. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Approval of personnel and ECA recommendations. I'll read in its entirety and then approve at the end. Unless anybody has any comment or discussion on anyone in there. Anyone? Okay. Jennifer Morris, new hire, 7th grade computer science business technology teacher. Lisa Redmiles, new hire, SHS math teacher. Jennifer Modlin, new hire, SMS instructional assistant. Lisa Eager, new hire, 7th grade social studies teacher. Rebecca McKinley, new hire, SHS special education teacher. Rebecca Routson, new hire, BSE administrative assistant. Kendra Skelton, new hire, SHS instructional aide. Honey Chadwell, new hire, SCS monitor. Stephanie England, resignation from BSE speech department. Derek Early, resignation from 7th grade social studies teacher. Bria Adams, resignation from BSE 3 through 5 moderate special education teacher. Melinda Borden, resignation from school bus monitor for 2024-2025 school year. Keegan Fetz, resignation from SHS math teacher. Harley Simpson, resignation from BSE instructional assistant. Andrea Souter, resignation from SCS bus monitor. Bobby Jackson, resignation from BSE instructional assistant. Danielle Shockey, resignation from BSE instructional assistant. Anita Terrell, resignation from SCS bus monitor. Logan Cockerham, transfer from BSE special education ED classroom to 5th grade special education. Danielle Bowling, BSE temporary position as the 3 through 5 mild moderate special education until the position is filled. Linda Snyder, payroll adjust for part-time position. Renee Wimsat, increase 5 days to 189 to accommodate Medicaid billing. Substitute increase from non-degree $78 a day to $80 a day, with a degree from $88 a day to $90 a day. Tim Anderson, volunteer assistant SMS basketball coach. Anna Mae Bowling, transfer from BSE sub-cook to cook. Vivian Phipps, transfer from BSE sub-cook to cook. Brandy Lewis, transfer from BSE sub-cook to cook. Marilyn Bowling, transfer from SHS sub-cook to cook. Chris Mehurin, part-time tech assistant. Dusty Baker, SMS late bus duty. Autumn Hall, long-term substitute for 6th grade social studies. Jennifer Martin, Chris Mehurin, Lori Hazlip. Lori would be a Hazlip. She of course would be. Lori would be a substitute in that position. SHS homebound instructors, and any other ECA recommendations.
Make them.
Rebecca White makes the motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Donations. Consider approval of donation to SHS cheerleaders for $500 from an anonymous donor. Ask for motion at this time on that. Motion made by Rodney Bruff, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of a donation to SHS football team for $300 from 5 Star Diesel Performance LLC.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Allison Ezell, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Action items. Consider approval of the 2024-2025 STEM Integration Grant.
So, Jessica, would you like to speak on that at all, or would you like for me to give an overview of that? Okay, yes, please.
This grant is going to focus on computer science and how we can incorporate computer science into our core classes.
JD's going to get mad because you didn't grab a microphone. I let you stay seated, Jessica, at least. You can go back and sit down and just grab a microphone. JD's taught me well. It's only taken him about 4 years, but
So with that grant, we were able to, or we're going to be able to purchase more equipment, robotics equipment and computer science equipment, and some like hands-on designing equipment for the classrooms. And it does allow money for teacher training, and we will have 10 lead teachers that will participate in the training. I think I've been working with Mr. Minton to secure the training, and I think we're going to do 1 day every 9 weeks and maybe a 5th day in there somewhere. And then those 10 lead teachers will be sharing that information with the other teachers in their buildings in that time that we have now at the end of the day for our department meetings and our grade level meetings. So they'll be sharing what they have learned in their training with everyone else. And I think it's going to be really good for us because, you know, at the middle school we have 2 new computer science teachers, and getting some training and letting them work with other people in the building. And then at the elementary school they have some new equipment that they're going to be able to use, which will, you know, carry on as the students, you know, go from grade to grade. So pretty excited about it.
And the total on that grant was $44,582.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
thank you, Ms. Morgan. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. All right, I'll
So
make
at this,
that motion.
Allison Ezell with the motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Becky Humphrey. She beat you, Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Right.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0.
As long as it's done.
Exactly. Consider approval of the local food for school grant. Would you like to speak on that a little bit, Ms. Lipka?
The microphone. This is the same grant that we had last year where we're getting our local food. And we are, I happen to be on the site 3 times today because I check it often trying to find free food. And there's, we're getting in some local Indiana cantaloupe and some local Indiana watermelon. So that's exciting, in addition to the fresh meat that we got last year quite a bit. So this time of year we are getting some produce, so that's nice. So it's at no cost at all to the school, and I don't know how who we're competing against this year for the freebies, but we're working pretty hard to get them. So last year the gentleman there said, he goes, "You use this program more than anybody in the state," and I'm like, well, that's because we like free food.
That's a compliment.
We like free food.
Yeah.
And it's great. I mean, it's great food. So we're happy about it.
Wasn't it last year you said you had trouble getting the produce? So this is really,
Yeah.
this is a blessing that they're getting this. This
Yeah,
is
because
good.
it didn't start last year until November, December, when we got the funding. And so by then, most of your local produce, unless it's hydroponic, is gone. So they started it right away this year. If you were already in the program, you just got to keep going. So, yeah, so we got some local Indiana melons coming in, so we're excited.
Love
Great.
that. Nice.
Thank you, Karen. So at this time, I'd ask for a motion to consider that local food for schools
Make the
grant.
motion.
Becky White makes the motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand.
What do you like, buzzers?
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. First reading of Policy 2340, Field and Other Corporation-Sponsored Trips.
I know I can't do this justice as Dr. Thurston would, but I will do my best while he's off
trust
enjoying,
me.
I
Trust
believe,
me,
the
you
Caribbean. Yes. Okay. So the school board, I'm going to read the first sentence and the last sentence of each policy, and these are first readings. No action needs to be taken tonight. The school board recognizes that field trips, when used for teaching and learning, are integral to the curriculum and are educationally sound and an important ingredient in the instructional program of the schools, properly planned and executed. And the last sentence, pursuant to state law, school buses may be used if the trip does not involve more than 200 miles out of state. That is Policy 2340. All right.
All right. Item number 10, first reading of Policy 5111, Eligibility of Resident and Non-Resident Students.
The Board of Managers establishes the following residence policy for determining eligibility to attend the schools of this cooperative. Students are eligible to attend a cooperative school if the student has legal settlement in one of the member school corporations, or if the student has been accepted as a transfer student in one of the member school corporations, and the case conference committee IEP team determines that the cooperative school is the appropriate placement for the student. And that is the whole policy.
Okay. Item 11, first reading of policy 7530.02, staff use of personal communication devices.
Use of personal communication devices have become pervasive in the workplace. And the last sentence. That was short and sweet, wasn't it? Violation of any provisions of this policy may constitute just cause for disciplinary action up to and including termination. Use of a PCD in any manner contrary to local, state, or federal laws also may result in disciplinary action up to and including termination.
Item 12, first reading of policy 7541, electronic data processing disaster recovery plan.
The Board of School Trustees is committed to maintaining and protecting the school corporation's information system. And the last sentence reads, as a last resort, the procedure to create payroll checks and budgetary checks and perform other necessary accounting functions manually.
Item 13, first reading of policy 7542, access to corporation technology resources from personal communication devices.
The board permits employees, guests, as well as contractors and vendors to use their personal communication devices to wirelessly access the corporation's technology resources, guest or business networks, servers, projectors, printers, while they are on site at any corporation facility. And the final sentence, the owner of a PCD bears all responsibility and assumes all risk of theft, loss, or damage to or misuse or unauthorized use of the device while it is on board property.
Item 14, first reading of policy 7543, remote access to the corporation's network.
Access to the corporation's website, www.salemschools.com, is encouraged. And the final sentence, any employee who violates this policy may be disciplined up to and including termination. Anyone who violates this policy may have his or her contract with the corporation terminated, and any student who violates this policy may be disciplined up to and including suspension or expulsion.
Item 15, first reading of policy 8405, environmental health and safety issues, indoor air quality, animals in the classroom, and idling vehicles on school property.
The school board recognizes its responsibility relative to student, employee, and visitor health and safety and the need for a development of a comprehensive program designed to provide a healthy, safe, and secure environment on corporation property at corporation-sponsored activities. And the final sentence of this very long policy. The superintendent shall seek any state and federal grant money available for lead sampling or testing, including any money available under the lead sampling program for school buildings and child care facilities conducted by the Indiana Finance Authority.
Item 16, first reading of policy 8442, reporting accidents.
The school board directs that all reasonable efforts be made to ensure a safe learning and working environment for students and employees of this corporation. And the final sentence, the failure of an employee to comply with this mandate may result in disciplinary action.
Item 17, first reading of policy 8710, insurance.
The school board shall purchase with corporation funds the type and amount of insurance necessary to protect the corporation from major financial losses. And the final sentence, insurance for a given coverage shall be obtained at the lowest possible cost, assuming that service and company reliability are satisfactory.
Awesome. Item 18, consider approval of the affidavit for payment.
Okay. So we had two payments that were being made. This is our final payment on our playground equipment with Snyder for $428,904. And I believe this is our final payment on our football field with Hellis Company for $312,063.17.
Great. Ask for a motion at this time to... Becky White makes the motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Consider approval to adjust cafe staff to a 3-tier level of compensation.
Yes, we are just asking for approval to move forward to develop tiers of wages based on the time employed and to be in line with other staff members in other departments.
I'll make the motion.
Ray Opal makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Item 20, consider approval of the contract to renovate tennis courts.
We have a contract before us this evening to move forward with renovating our tennis courts. And if it's approved this evening, we will be in queue to have the work begin in October and hopefully finish in the spring, depending on the weather. And this will be once again with the Hellas Company, and it is $881,000.
Motion made by Rodney Bruff, seconded by Becky White. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Fundraisers. I will read through. There's only two. Okay. Fundraisers. I'm used to tons of them. Sorry, no offense. BSE school-wide trash bag fundraiser, 8/20/24 through 9/4/24. STEAM Design Club throughout the school year at sporting events, selling items that are designed and made by students. Excellent an idea. Rodney Bruff makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Items from our wonderful staff in the building. Nobody? Must mean things are great to start the school year already. Right, Jen? Good. Anything from the transportation side of things, Ed? Okay. Any non-action items? Any new board business? Okay. Superintendent's report.
Okay, so this evening I wanted to give a quick update on test scores and what has been released and is no longer embargoed by the state. We can't yet release our iRead scores, but we can discuss the iLearn scores this evening, along with some IM and some other components. So the test scores aren't quite where we need them to be yet, but we are working on it. And I feel very, very positively that when the growth component comes out, we're going to see a lot of growth in all of our students. So I'm going to go through briefly and give you a little update on the pass rate and where that compares with the state, and to let you know that we have lots of plans in place to make sure these go up this year. So in grade 3 in mathematics, we had 48% of our students pass that particular or meet proficiency at or above, and the state percentage was 52, so slightly below the state average there. In grade 4 mathematics, we were at 48%, and so was the state, so feeling pretty positively about that. In 5th grade math, we were at 46%, and the state average for at or above proficiency was 41%, so we are above there in 5th grade. And then we go to the middle school with 6th grade at 36% pass rate, and the state was at 38. Grade 7 at 19%, with the state being at 34, and 8th grade 13%, with the state being at 32. And we already know that our math scores have been an area that we're working on. I have worked tirelessly this past year with the math department as well as the English language arts department too, especially at the middle school, because we know we have our work cut out for us. So some of the things that we're doing, we have unpacked the new standards, and we are looking at when the different indicators show that the standards should be taught. And we have signed up to take the iLearn checkpoints this year. So our students will be tested throughout the year along with NWEA benchmark testing. So we're going to have a lot more data to know where our students need interventions and where we can help them and support them. And then let's move to ELA. So in grade 3, we had 31% of our students at or above proficiency, and the state rate was 38%. Grade 4 was at 32%, with the state at 42%. Grade 5, 36%, and the state at 40%. Grade 6 at 54%, and the state at 42. Grade 7, 25%, and the state average 42. And grade 8, 38%, and the state average 42. So again, just within a few percentage points of the state as well. So again, same thing. We've been working closely at the elementary. We spent a lot of time. Ms. Bundy could share that we spent a lot of time working on our maps last year, and we have joined the literacy cadre, which we think will give us those foundational skills that our students need who may have gaps in reading. We spent a lot of time at the Wilson Center with some training as well, and the middle school has also done mapping with their ELA and unpacked the standards to know when and what should be taught. So we are working, and we will continue to see improvements there. When the iRead scores are unembargoed, we'll share those. 5th grade social studies, we had a 44% pass rate. And then I'm really excited to announce some of the special ed test scores. Some of our special education students take a different assessment called the IM. And it's not reported at the state level because you have to have at least 10 students tests to be able to be reported at the state level. But I wanted to share with you how well these students did. So we had 3 students test in science, and they all passed at 100%. We had 2 students test in social studies in grade 5, and they all passed at 100%. In grades 3, 4, and 5, we had 9 students test in mathematics, and they passed at 89%. And then in grades 3, 4, and 5, we had 9 students test, and we had 66 students at or above proficiency. In grade 6, we had 6 students test in science, and they passed at 50%. And in mathematics, in grades 6, 7, and 8, we had an 88% pass rate. And in ELA, in 6th, 7th, and 8th, we had an 88% pass rate. So our special education students who take that differentiated assessment did very, very well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, positive praises. Mr. Bruff.
So I had my first interaction with the clinic this week. Macy's parents didn't get her physical for yeah, went all summer. But anyway, so Dee Dee was got us right in. I met the PA that was in there, and it was awesome. Didn't hardly have to do nothing, and we walked it back over, and it was uploaded by Miss Shelley at the middle school. If you're not utilizing that, utilize it because we want to keep it. And great people. A lot of kids came in as I sat there because I sat there and asked them how it was going and whatnot. The kids loved the physician assistant that's in there working. And they were getting shots and still acted like they loved her. So I took it. Our grounds look great. We had a great turnout Friday night for Coach Ralston with our facility. We're excited that the tennis courts are next. Bus compound looks awesome. Lots of great things going. We've hired some great teachers. Thanks to our new superintendent for going out and getting some new to be teachers here as well. So we thank her for all of her work and all of you that are working there, because you're all pretty much staff that are part of our education system. So thank you.
I want to say thanks to all of the teachers who did come here tonight, and yes, and I got to talk to some the first day of school, and it was kind of it was an exciting time. There was a lot of energy going on, but they were handling it, and they did a great job. And I was just trying to give words of encouragement. They didn't need it. They were good. They were. I think they did a fantastic job, and they had a lot of to keep up with, but they did a wonderful job. So hats off to them and to a great school year. Also, the field, I've heard a lot of people that have come Friday night was the Ralston and dedication, and there were so much. It was fun to see the alumni and people coming back, and they were just like, "Can we touch it?" The field, and yes, you can touch it and get out on it. And anyway, that was just heard a lot of huge compliments on that, so that was great. They've worked hard on the fence, getting the fence up, and they've almost got it done. Looks really nice. They've got, to keep the fence up. And something that was, I thought, was attention to detail. Our custodians are like above and beyond. And talking about Brock Creek, they went out there and they've cleaned up some of the area behind the middle school there, and done a fantastic job at knocking trees down and limbs. And they can't touch the waterway because that is not that is owned not by the school by anybody. That's but you can clean up your area there, and I think they did a fantastic job in taking down trees and cutting them up. Rodney and I were very impressed with that. Yeah. So.
That was something me and Becky. So I spent June with the United States Army because I'm 28 years. I'm still in the Army, and I was coming past Otter Creek Park, and I don't know if you've ever been there, but they have a creek, and these people have their kids in it. They have tents set up in it and lawn chairs, and I'm not telling you to do that at Brock Creek. But what I did tell the mayor with Becky and our superintendent is that we have a creek where a lot of kids get in it anyways, and the grass is 6 foot tall. Why can't we clean it up? Why can't we make it? I just showed up softball field a couple weeks ago, and it was cleaned up. So Joe's getting after it. and hopefully that continues. And like I said, I'm not telling you get in the creek, but it's
He
going
did say, yeah, when he went
Something
to,
for kids to do.
there's something for kids to do with water.
right, and Jan and I remember years ago, that was our old stomping ground, so it's nice to see kids, and I do a lot of walking around the area there, and I see kids all the time in that water now. And of course, they were somewhat before, but now you can more visual, and Joey was like, that's no problem. So I love that attitude. So anyway, that looks really nice. Also, they had the media day Saturday morning. That went really well, and excited about that. And the the first football game will be on the 23rd, and it looks like the scrimmage will be this Friday with Mitchell, and of course the middle school will be this Thursday. So that's exciting time, and this weather has been perfect. So if we can keep this weather, whoever's ordering this, please keep ordering it, right? So that's my praise.
Ms. Myers.
Okay. Just jotted down a few notes. Yes, we do have a lot of fabulous new teachers. We had new teacher orientation, and they were a little bit quiet, but I think they're coming into it now. We welcome some of our oldies but goldies back. We have some people who've returned to us, and that's always nice too. And I want to thank the teachers who are still here with us, because you're dedicated, and we appreciate all of you and appreciate you choosing Salem to be your home. Opening day was fabulous. We had breakfast thanks to First Harrison Bank, and then we did our years of recognition, and the ladies in the office worked tirelessly on that. We had very few mistakes, and I think that was a nice way to catch up from the 2 years that had been left behind. We're going to have a new sub-training. So substitute teachers, if you're out there listening and you would like to come join us, we need substitutes. We need people who are going to take really good care of our students when our teachers need a day off. So that training is August 15th, this coming Thursday at BSE at 9 a.m. So you can join us if you're interested. And really enjoyed the senior sunrise. That was fabulous. We had a great turnout for that. I can't thank the bus drivers and Ed enough for getting our students to and from school safely those first few days. We started out about 20 minutes behind schedule, then we got it down to 7 minutes behind schedule, and on Friday we were right on schedule, so we couldn't be any better. Football dedication was great. It's so exciting to see Coach Ralston and all the great memories that people had with him and of him, and the hat toss was pretty fabulous. So yes, the schools look amazing. Our custodians have done a great job. I say it every time I go in. I would eat off the floor in any three of those buildings. The floors are so shiny. And thanks to Joe and the crew last night, along with Tech and Karen, for making sure we salvaged our food, and the power is back on and restored, so we'll be back at the high school in person tomorrow.
Ms. Allison.
The Matt Gorman at the playground, every time this summer I would drive by and stop, Matt would come out and, show me around or tell me what the update was for the day. But right before school started, I went by there one night, and he comes out, and he was camping out there that night to make sure that nobody walked on to set anything back, onto the playground. So I don't know if I would be willing to sleep in a, lawn chair by myself by the creek, but thank you, Matt, for your willingness to camp out. What? I wouldn't.
See.
So, I appreciate the dedication of so many people. And, last night, Joe England and Karen and Aaron Humphrey and Daniel, everybody was working together to figure out what needed to be done, and, to make sure things were taken care of. And, nobody was sitting there going, well, that's not my job, or that's not my responsibility. And everybody just really pitched in. And so there's so many people that do things behind the scenes, or that's outside of, the hours of your work schedule. And the teachers as well that do these things, but that was just last night. So, but it's just always nice to see just the dedication to our school and safety and making sure everything's taken care of. So I just really appreciate everything. The dedication the other night, I wasn't able to be there, but watched it online, and a little proud that 91 was represented so well. But I thought that was just such a great evening, and getting to see the joy in Ralston, and I felt like I got a little teary watching it online, just knowing the stories and being there through so many years. So I'm just excited for the school year and all the things to come.
So I've heard a lot about the coffee bar at the high school and how impressive it is and how wonderful, and they're enjoying it. So very nice. And then the welcome back video I enjoyed that.
That was super cute.
Yes. And then the and I'm not sure if it's just Brady Sherham or if it's all three schools, but where they put the new teachers and they answered questions and kind of told about themselves. Put some
Monica's
picture.
done that, or that's Monica's done
Okay,
that.
okay. So that is really neat, and I've enjoyed looking at that. And then student council, walking the little kids to their class the first couple days of school. So I always think that's neat that the older kids are helping the little kids. So I love that.
Nothing else to say. Actually, Mrs. Morgan took one of the things. I was going to congratulate her on the grant that she wrote back in May, and the money getting for the STEM room, and also JD and his Lions Network. I saw a video today or something today where was it today as you're at the Rotary Club? Oh, yeah. Something about the Rotary Club. So congratulations, he does a great job, and those kids do a great job also with that. So, but outside of that, ditto what you guys said. Coach Ralston and I refereed a lot together, so I have a lot of good stories about him also. So, but it has to do with refereeing.
Some of us had stories told about us.
So much in file rule.
Also, Brent, you're here. That video that you did about the football field was really nice.
Thank you.
I had seen that. I thought that did a great job.
Credit to Hellas on that.
Yeah, they did a good job of highlighting the services the Wilson Center provides and highlighting Salem as well. So thank you
Seen
for
that.
that.
I've looked at.
I'll send it to you.
There was a ton of people too, and we don't give JD enough credit, and because he's always there doing something with every sport that we have. So, and he's always there, and he was last to leave Friday night. I helped him carry something. I didn't want him to be the last guy, so I stayed with him. But a lot of people have seen all the improvements throughout that couldn't get out or drive by him, or everything that's going on in our school, including tonight, by all the work that JD does. So thanks for all you do. Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate all the staff. I know the first few days are always challenging, and with transportation, we've had a little bit of hiccup, but that's all worked out now. Today with the high school, I appreciate the staff's patience. I appreciate the parents' patience because I know some of the kids didn't have Chromebooks. So greatly appreciate that. If you feel like something's not going on properly in our schools, get involved in our school system. Don't complain about our school system. Get involved in the communication of everything and try to make our school system better. Don't just complain. There's a lot of positions that need assistance. Jump on board, like substitutes, for example. I can say that because I was a substitute for a long time. Janet can attest to it.
You were my favorite, best substitute.
That's the first time I've ever been called favorite or best of anything.
Every time I called you, you showed up.
But, you know, everyone's busy. Let's dig in and help our school to get better every day and give these kids the attention that they deserve, because I don't care how busy you are, an hour a day, 10 minutes out of the day, there's something you can do. Pitch in and help out. Let's make our school system continue to get better and better every day. So, at this time, I would ask for, wait a minute, positive praise, next regular monthly meeting, September 9th, I got off on a tangent and I lost track. Regular monthly meeting, September 9th, 2024. I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Motion made by Rodney Bruff, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.